We're looking at Visions Hard Fight Vanguard ban list. Alright, so I know on Wednesday I did a podcast with Naru. Oh, man. I did a podcast with Naru. We made our own. So, if you want to look at that, go to YouTube, Husky24. This should be my most recent video as of today. Check it out. Skip to the end if you want to see the ending ban list on that. But there's a lot of things in this one that are just different, you know? Like, some of the obvious ones that are definitely, like, what we need to see is, like, Nue Steel, Taro to 1, stuff like that. Those are solid hits. Those are definitely what needs to happen. So, and just clarifying, this is for their online events, not an official Bushiroad ban list. Online events from them. This is not for every single one of their events. These are all free events that they usually do online on their Discord. So, let's start talking about it. Let's rip it a new one. Starting with its forbidden list. So we got Nue on there, of course. Definitely agreeable. Castile Demones. Castile Demones, okay? Castile Demones. I can't say it right. I think that's the proper card to hit out of DI. It future-proofs a lot of things. Like, so there's like a lot of thought like in my brain going about like, so even if we like hit the V series Castile, the Stride still works with everything that Dark States gets, everything that DI currently has, and I think hitting the Stride just future proofs a lot of the things that could go wrong, you know? So I think Castile is definitely the card to go. The next card on that list is Zarzan, who is already at 1 in the Bushiroad official. Now, Zarzan being at 1, I agree with. Being banned, I can get behind. It makes a lot of decks that can high roll, that can search it out, that can abuse it, slow down, or just like have to be reworked entirely. So like I believe there is a Pale Moon deck that can do it. Aquaforce can do it, though we don't see it very often right now. Odysseus, because I think it's a little too slow. Yo, thank you for the follow, Austin. I do appreciate it. But yeah, the Zarzan hit just, it makes sense if it goes to, it makes sense actually. Vanguard Gear Chronicle deck, cool. Gear Chronicle is cool. Like, Zarzan was a problem card right out of the gate when it got released, so I think there's like a bunch of like two-way streets here. Like, if you ban Zarzan, you don't really have to hit as few cards, and I think they missed that with this list, and I'll get to that in a minute. But banning Zarzan, I can actually agree with. I can agree with that. Now, I think that's a great one. It's the superior ride for Phantom Blaster Dragon. That being banned, I mean, sure. I would have just choice restricted it with Luard. But completely banning it's fine. I mean, you could choice restrict it with the main. I don't know, like in premium anyway. But I don't think it outright needs banned. I really just don't. Like, maybe they're just like, and this list is to like bring new players like a better, like, it's a better environment for new players, and I understand that. So like getting rid of like going to grade 3 while you're on 1 because they went first. I mean, that makes sense if you're trying to make it enjoyable for new players. But completely banning the card, I don't think that was the correct choice. maybe choice restricting it would have been a much better approach to that card. The real Pinhead Larry. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, if they're that worried, choice restrict with Luard is fine. Superior Ride is like the only thing that allows non-Luard lists to keep up with the meta, and I agree. It's like they're banning that card because of one deck, but banning that card significantly hurts the decks it's actually meant for, which restricts new player deck building. And new player deck building is crucial to their growth as a player. I can't tell you how many hours I've spent deck building. Like even when I was like starting out, being introduced to the game, having access to stuff. If I was told I couldn't play, I don't know, say if God, it's really hard. Say if what is it? Dream the Painter, the Royal Paladin Painter Grade 1 back in the day. Say if that card was banned and I wanted to build MLB and I was just starting out and I'm like, oh, this card's really good. This is just an example, by the way. And then I go to a tournament, and then because I'm a new player and I don't know about a ban list or anything, and then I go in and I'm like, oh, I can't play this card. Oh well, what do I do? I'm a new player. I can't like go back. I don't have. You see what I mean? New players being able to get excited about deck building is something that is very important for the community. And I think outright banning a card that's being used for a deck that's not supposed to, like, that it wasn't made for, just outright banning the card is wrong, because it very much so affects the deck building process. But moving on, we have Songstress. This Songstress card is very good. I think it deserves to be banned. It requires a setup, but because the stand trigger, which they on their watch list, the Prankster Girl, not get banned, it is very easy to get all of your pieces. And I think keeping the stand trigger in the game and banning Songstress is better, because Songstress is when you have all the pieces, it happens regardless. And I don't think that's healthy. And moving on to Calico, I believe its name is Calico, the starter card for OTT. That card just needs to be banned. With the V Series Amaterasu stuff existing, that stuff makes that card need to be banned. Yeah, I'm gonna reveal 3 Goddess of the Sun Amaterasus. Which 2 go to the drop zone, or which 2, I forget if they go to the drop zone by my deck, but which one goes to my hand, the other 2 go away. Regardless of what happens, your opponent's going to get 3 procs and give 10k in a crit to your Vanguard, to its Vanguard, 3 times. This card needs to be banned. Needs to be banned. Poem. Poem is a good card. It is a card. I don't think it needs to be banned if we're banning Dios. That home is mainly, I mean, it's, if you're playing it, you're wanting to play it in like the vanilla decks or something like that. I mean, you want to play in a deck where you want to counterblast. And I feel like with the new V series coming out, that we don't care about home anymore, and that card doesn't need to see any removal from the game. I think that was a very pointless hit. But I'm not going to say I disagree with it. I'm just going to say it seemed very pointless. Because, I mean, I play Nova Grapplers, and I'm just going to swing at your Vanguard anyway. But I can understand, like, because, like, in an event recently, I was playing against DI, I'm playing Nova Grapplers, and I would do my normal thing. I'd swing at him turn one, and then he'd draw, do my things, pass, not give me a damage. A little upsetting, but I mean, you play around it a little bit if you can. But I mean, home is. I think it's a waste of a deck slot if you put it in the deck. I mean, if you have the space, you have the space. I don't agree. I think it was a wasted ban. I don't think it needed. And then in this card, Jamio. Uh, Jamio needs to go before this new one comes out. I think even though we got rid of Zarzan, and if they're getting rid of Hoem, Hoem needed the hit pre grade 3 heals, in your opinion? That's a good argument. That's a very good argument, but you're. I just don't see it. I mean, it might be because I haven't really seen the card in my testing with other people as much. I don't have like a good opinion on where it should be. I just feel like it's a wasted spot. So like, it's forcing to give Nue damage going second sucks. But yeah, if we hit, however, if we ban Nue Dio as it is in this list, do we need to ban Hoem? If Castile Demones is in this list as banned, do we need to ban Hoem? That's the thing. I just think it's a very wasted ban. Oblivion, thank you for the follow. I do appreciate it. But back to Jamio. I think Jamio is a card that needs to get hit before this V collection comes out, because the new stuff for Nue Banned is kind of obnoxious. So I think if I'm on the new grade 3 and my opponent does their turn, every time they have to call something that is a normal unit, they must discard a card until they have 4. So that means no matter what, they're at 4 cards in their hand. If you play God, I'm bad with these Nue Banned names. It's a grade 1 counterblast one. If it goes into Soul and you find a card at random from your opponent. I know, like, I've been there. It's God, my playtest partners would be so mad at me not remembering their name. But it's the fact that it's a guaranteed Sukamura-Khan every time. You know, if that makes sense. Jamio needs to go, because Jamio being a card, how it is just, I think it's a little too powerful for premium. And in this list made for new players, I think having Jamio out is a very good thing. It makes new players not have to worry about like trying to play around only having 4 cards in their hand consistently. And it makes it so that you can play Renee, like in any deck now, premium. Which Renee is a very good card. And we're going to skip over the over triggers because I want to save that for last. The limit to 1. Taro. Yes. 1. 1. Please. Yes. 1. Oh. That card is so obnoxious and has been obnoxious for so long. Jamio needs to die because Vanilla Jamio is toxic. I think Vanilla Jamio is obnoxious. I wouldn't say toxic. It would be toxic if it was literally everybody and their mother was playing it. But, I mean, it's just very obnoxious. I mean, like, yes, they have the vanilla crit. The vanilla 2 crit card. The unfun is a better word, Oblivion, yeah. Unfun is, yes, the best word to describe it. I agree. But Taro is like, Taro to 1 says you can't make infinite power on your regard because you can't make the loop. you need either 2 Taro, 3 of the grade 1 to make sure you can swing your Vanguard. It does. I mean, it doesn't kill Fenrir. It makes it good still. It makes it usable, but it makes it so you can't do the infinite power. And if you do, well, you can, but if you do, you will not be able to swing Vanguard. And you will only be able to restand the infinity power once. Allegedly. Yeah, because there's no way to put it back. So it very limits if they're going for the infinite power. So Taro to 1 can't make infinite power without second Taro. You can. It just, you will have, if you have the 3, 4, if you have 4, all 4 of the grade 1 and Taro, you can do it. Right? Because it's, God, I hate that. All these cards do the same thing. Go to the wiki. Grade 1 is Soul Charge 2. The grade 1 is Soul Charge 2. You're right. It just says no infinite power. My bad. I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't mind me. Yes, it does kill the infinite power. I don't know why I was thinking it didn't. That makes sense, yeah. Taro being to 1, yes, absolutely. 100% agree. 110%. 100,000,000% agree. That's fair. Okay, yeah. If you play the deck, please tell me if I'm wrong. But yeah. Taro to 1. Yes. Doesn't kill it. Makes it balanced. And they still have the ability to stride on you while you're at grade 2. Or is it? Yeah, stride on you while you're at grade 2. So, yeah, the deck's not like trash anymore. It's just, it doesn't loop and swing at you for infinity for like 4 times or 8 times. With a crit, by the way, because the Force 2. Alright, so the Choice Lock in V Series, I honestly, to be completely honest, I don't like V. But I can see why they would hit these things. I have no clue what the interaction with the Bermuda stuff is. I just don't. I see Vert and I see Ellie. Does anybody know what the Vert Ellie thing is? I don't know what that's about. But anyway, while we look that up, it's going to be the Hamiel No Seal. It prevents. You can either play one or the other, so you can't guarantee you have the damage. It's your opponent has the out. They can play around you. Don't have it. Don't have it. It's your opponent has to give it to you. Which, I mean, as knowing a bunch of Angel Feather players, I mean, that kind of hurts Angel Feather, but I mean, it is Angel Feather. Like, hitting crits on Hamiel, because it is a 16 crit deck in V Series, so having a way to play around is good. I can agree with this choice lock here. Alright, the Bermuda interaction is to drop the defense power of Bermuda because it's too good on offense, and Ellie as a heal triggered shield on defense. The Angel Tracer Restrict is healthy because there's now a way to play around the deck that is point. Yeah, because the Vert deck I remember is very aggressive, and having its defenses lowered actually makes it more fair then. Alright, moving on to the limit of 2 in the deck. We have Columbard. Why? I mean, it's a once per name. It costs a counterblast. I mean, it gets you any card out of your deck. Play a card. I mean, it can get you the 7, the what is it? The card that rests and mills the top 5. Because it's broken with Zar. Well, I mean, if you limit Columbard to 2 because of Zarzan and Zarzan's banned, why? Should have been Greed Shade instead? I don't even know about that. I mean, yeah, Granblue is a very strong, consistent clan, but I think the hit should have been maybe Skull Dragon to 1. Because the deck is still really good. Like, it has a lot of multi-attack options. It's very high pressure. And like, I think getting the Columbard out redundant. Like, I don't see like what that does. Like, Greed Shade getting heals back for free is oppressive. I mean, sure. Yeah, they can G guard. Yeah, they can do all that. But I mean, if you know, I don't know. I just play around. I play Nova Grapplers, man. They can't blow up my stuff. I got guns. But if they have it, they have it. I mean, that's what I say about a lot of things. So, I mean, the Grand Blue hit right here, I don't like it. Yeah, this Greed Shade for getting heals back, Skull Dragon for the kill turns, or Big Obadiah to kill Counterblast 1 +9. I think Skull Dragon to 1 was the best hit. If they had hit Skull Dragon to 1 would be fine. Alright, limited to Ichi. This is old Ichi, correct? Or is this is premium collection Ichi, I believe. It's a 2? Give me a second. One is this one's Stillwater, correct? Stillwater, so Stillwater. You only have 2 in the. If you only have 2 in the deck, it just means you can't do it twice. Like, I mean, just limit it so you can't play it with Silent Tom. Just limit it. Yeah, just limit it to where you can't play it with Silent Tom. Bam, done. You don't need to put it to 2. I mean, you can. I mean, I mean, in the ban list I made last night, we put it to 2. It's fine. But I mean, I don't see like. I think choice restricting it with Silent Tom's better, like they did in Thailand. But sure, yeah, makes it more accessible for new players, I guess. And then limiting to 4, all stand triggers to 4. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. I think it is a possible solution to fix the Blade Master Valkyrian. I don't think it is the solution. I think you choice restrict Valkyrian to play with stand triggers. You cannot have both in the deck. Should be you can't play either Blade Master that makes a vision token in a deck with stand triggers. That should have been the play there. Again, as I said earlier, with the Shadow Paladin Superior Ride, limiting new players' deck constructing abilities. Bad for new players. And I don't think I'm wrong. Like, if I wasn't allowed to run Energy Girls, Aichi Walls, to my knowledge, they wanted to avoid any erratas. I'm not saying errata anything. I'm just saying choice restrict stand triggers with Blade Master V, both of them, and Valkyrion. You cannot play stand triggers in any decks that contain Valkyrion, both V Blade Masters that make vision tokens. Bam. You don't limit stand triggers to that kills a lot of that hurts a lot of deck building possibilities for new players. Because the way new players enjoy the game the most, in my opinion, this is my opinion, hate on it, please. They need to learn how to build a deck. Yes, net decking, copying decks works. But player, in order to enjoy the game, the cards in their pool are. They need to know that they can play these cards and what interactions can happen. Sometimes you want to build a deck like 12 stand Beast Deities. You can't do that in a Vision tournament. Yeah, I agree with me. It's like stand triggers to 4 just seems like they didn't think about it enough. It's like, oh, we just need to put this out for cons. We just need to put this out soon. And I'm not saying they did it like that. I'm not saying they didn't think about it, because I'm pretty sure they did. They absolutely did. Otherwise, they wouldn't do tournaments for a long time. They've been doing it on Discord. They want to bring new people in. I'm definitely not saying that they didn't think about it, but I'm saying that maybe they should have gone with a different route. And at the end of the day, these are their tournaments. They're free tournaments, and they're trying to bring in new players. Understand their decisions are their decisions in their tournaments. Not like an all be all thing. I know I said that wrong, but limiting deck building options isn't the best idea. I only have real intakes. And then on the watch list, they have the Prankster Girl, which I think doesn't need to get hit. If they just leave that card in, if you do hit it to like 2-1, so that if you see it, you like have to see it. But yeah, if they see it, they're just gonna keep using it. But it's putting it at 1 is fine. That card will go to 1, it's fine. Leaving it at 4, yeah, cool. Keeping it on your eyes, like making sure, like, hey, this card's pretty good. We might want to do something about it later. That's actually a very respectful thing. I think Vision is very smart for doing that. And now anything on the watch list that says D, I don't think you need to touch D series. D series is two sets in. It's on second set. We don't even have a third set yet. If you count Festival Collection, you're wrong. That was a bunch of reprints and then like a card for every deck. We're in 2 sets. Let there be a nice card pool. Nice like you. I give a format 4 sets before I make an opinion usually. And at the moment, I can say I like D series. I don't like that I don't have a bunch of scary robots. swinging at you a million times, but hey, D series, yeah, I like it. Over triggers, my opinion, yet to come. But I don't think you need to touch anything in D series right now. Nothing is outright oppressive. Yes, there's a lot of abundancy, but I don't think you even need to consider hitting anything for D series at the moment. This format is too new. It needs time to develop. More card pool. But keeping an eye on them in their tournament setting is absolutely fine. Not going to say they shouldn't do it. Maybe their tournaments are different from the tournaments that I see. I personally wouldn't touch D series. I would let it go, flow with it, and then after set 4, start looking at it and see what maybe should be looked at more. Certain cards, choice restrict. I like the way Bushy. I like looking back. Yeah, the restriction lists were small from Bushy, but did they need to be any bigger? Odysseus to 2, Refros to 1. I mean, yeah, those literally made it. Yeah. Nightcrow, all of that. Yeah, those were actually really smart hits that were being problematic for their formats. Hitting a bunch of cards all at once, though? I don't know. Moving on. Tamba. I believe they're looking at the wrong card. Tamba, there is an infinite power loop in Murakumo using Tamba and a few other cards. The only reason this is possible is because a card called Metamorphox for V Series exists. Choice restrict Metamorphox and Tamba, clear. We're in the clear. Kills the infinite power loop, keeps Tamba in the game. Tamba is a very good card. Hitting it would make the Murakumo decks hurt a little bit more. I don't think they want to do that. That card is really good. It's powerful, but it's not broken if you restrict it from a certain card, which I think is what they might be considering. So I like that they're looking at it. I have no idea what that Bermuda card is, if that's a Bermuda card. And then that's Greed Shade. We already talked about Greed Shade. Greed Shade being on the watch list is fine. As Neferta in chat said, it is for getting the heals back. It's kind of oppressive. It's for picking up combo pieces. Like, oh, I got PG. Okay. Oh, a heal trigger. I'm gonna take my heal trigger. Oh, I milled my over trigger. My over trigger. A shield. Pretty good. It needs to be looked at. Enigmatic Assassin. I think isn't that card already hit? Enigmatic Assassin is restricted to 1 in premium. Which makes me think about this. Is this Vision ban list in addition to what's already banned in the Bushy Road ban list? Or is it a different ban list and everything in the Bushy Road ban list is for the game? Because that's why, looking at the watch list where Enigmatic Assassin is on it, makes me think and wonder, what is their actual ban list? Is this cards being added? Is it just cards? Is their ban list? Got me concerned. Because I also see Purple Trapezes. So, yeah. Seeing those two cards on the watch list and they're already banned in Bush ban list is kind of worrisome. Their tournament, like that, I just like a little bit more clarity on this. Like, is this an addition to, or is this just an actual ban list? And then the last card I'm going to talk about is the forbidden card on their list is the Overtrigger. All right, so hot take. My personal opinion is that Cardfight Vanguard is a game of variants. In premium format, there's been a very large lack of variants, and the Overtrigger has brought in a very large portion of variants back to the game. Variance is a good thing for games of variance. The word being variance. Yes. Banning the Overtrigger is what we're going to do. Remember when we used to complain about getting, oh, well, you just strode on me and you hit crit, crit, crit. Guess I die. Well, oh, I just 6 damage healed on you. Guess you'll die. It's literally, it's the same concept. Like, and then it's a 50k shield in your hand if you drew. Why ban it? Banning it, I can understand for future proof with the Neonectar stuff, but why just ban it from everything? Like, the Overtrigger brings back variance. It makes the game more. It brings it to a more exciting level for new players, and I think the Overtrigger is double-sided coin. Maybe they wanted to remove the coin and just stick with one part, which I respect. But in my eyes, why would you remove? Like, this is a mechanic for a format. The Overtrigger is for the overdress format. Why get rid of it? And that's just my take on the Overtrigger. I think it should stay in the game. Yo, what up, Scrub Lord? Yo, what up, Teen Titans? How are we doing today? And that's mainly my opinions on the Vision ban list. I'm very surprised they didn't go for like some of the off-radar decks, like Great Nature and Spangled, or like Overlord with their Force 2 swing at you 3 times. I think if this is the ban list, I think Overlord is just gonna put on its helmet and be like, all right, unga bunga. That's just my opinion. I think Harry is a very good deck. That should see a lot more play in these formats. New players really like exploring, and if they pick up like a Harry deck, so whenever I see a new person come into the game, they're like, oh, I can play in the circus, and they pick up Pale Moon, they do a bunch of stuff, Nightmare Dolls, Harry, Stuff with Thorns. It's great. It's fun. It's great. It's so fun to play. I agree. But like, sometimes you do need to hit some stuff. Like, I think those decks are going to shine a little bit more. It's either going to be that or Overlord's just going to be putting on its helmet. So this is Scrub Lord.
Hello. Hello, chat.
And that's my cat meowing. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the Vision ban list. If you have any thoughts, let me know. For YouTube, let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, of course, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.